Hi, I'm Jillian Wirtz, and thank you for joining us for KGCS Community Spotlight. Today I have with us Rachel Grewe, and she is the Membership Marketing Analyst for Girl Scouts here at the Heartland. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So we're going to talk about 100 years of Girl Scouts, which is what we're celebrating this year. And what's really interesting to me is we have a woman who started Girl Scouts, which is right in the middle of a progressive era. So before women could vote or own land, we have somebody who started a group for girls just to empower them to be on their own.
Yeah, definitely. It was Juliet Gordon-Lowe, and she started it just as a very small group in Savannah, Georgia with 18 girls. And they started earning badges and doing a lot of different outdoor skills and learning things that a lot of young women weren't learning at the time, which is really an interesting concept when you think about it. Everything in Girl Scouts was a little bit more progressive than the rest of the United States was willing to be, and people were a little bit shocked. But it grew really quickly and was very popular. And became an entire movement of the time, and has obviously grown 105 years later. Now we still have Girl Scouts. We have millions of members, and it's grown. We have Girl Scouts and Girls Guides all over the world. And Girl Scouts, obviously, in the United States. That's great.
Right, and what was really interesting when I was doing some of my research was a lot of the different efforts that the Girl Scouts did. So they started in 1912, and with World War II and Korea, they helped with some war efforts, and then they also did a lot of stuff with making sure that the Girl Scouts were aimed at really taking away racial discrimination, and they did a lot of work like that and a lot of women's movements. And so here we are in 2017, and it's 100 years later, and it's also 100 years of selling cookies. So what is something that we started this year? It looks like we did a s'mores cookie.
Yeah. So the brand new cookie is the S'mores Girl Scout cookie this year, and a lot of things have changed in the last 100 years of selling Girl Scout cookies, but the ultimate goal is still the same. And the girls are selling the cookies to raise money not only for their troop efforts and for the girls to learn and to grow. The girls are learning skills while they're out on the street selling their cookies, but they're also raising money for not only their troop but for their community. And the community service that the first Girl Scout cookies that were ever sold was actually a community service project. So they were raising money for a community service project. And even today, most of our troops are putting back money that they earn from their Girl Scout cookies into community service, which is amazing, as well as funding their projects and their work that they're doing to empower their troop and for the girls to learn and to grow.
Great. So it looks like we have this type of Girl Scout cookie, and if you look on the website, we have two different types. And here locally, we have this kind, and then it looks like there's a different kind. So tell us a little bit about how some of the cookies are a little bit different depending on maybe the baker.
Yeah, so nationally we have actually two bakers. We have ABC Bakers and the Little Brownie Bakers. So depending on your region and where you're located, you might have a cookie that looks like ours, which is it's a graham cracker cookie. It's really yummy. And it's got a vanilla icing, and it's dipped in chocolate. And the other one's more like a sandwich, like a traditional s'more. And it's by two different bakers. So we have peanut butter patties, and they have tagalongs or caramel delights and Samoas. They're the same cookie. They're just a little bit different. But depending on where you guys are at regionally, we have the one that's dipped in chocolate, and it's really good.
And it looks like we also, on the website where you can find, it's the Girl Scout Finder, Cookie Finder.
Yes.
So on there, it looks like there's also a few different types of cookies. We have some gluten-free ones and also vegan, correct?
Yes, there are a lot of different cookies. So like you said, when we first had cookies 100 years ago, they only had one kind of cookie, and our shortbread cookie is actually based off of the original recipe for Girl Scout cookies, and we've obviously expanded. We have 9 different flavors. We have our Thin Mints, which is one of our most popular ones. The Caramel Delights and the Peanut Butter Patties are kind of the next ones. Shortbreads, peanut butter sandwiches, thanks a lots, lemonades, and then we have the newest, the s'mores one, and then the trios are our gluten-free one.
Okay.
And then, yes, a couple of them are vegan, but the only gluten-free one is the trio.
Okay. Awesome. So where can we find Girl Scout cookies if you want to look locally, for instance? Maybe you don't know anybody in a troop, or you just want to find out where you can buy some cookies. What's the easiest way we can figure that out?
Yeah, so it's always great when you know somebody locally or know somebody connected in the community, and it's great to buy from them. And if you don't know a girl, they're out in the community right now at booths. And if you don't happen to run into one, we have it's brand new, it's really easy to find them. You actually just go onto our website and you will type in your zip code, and then it'll actually give you a list of the upcoming next cookie booths in your direct area. So if you type in your zip code, it'll give you, usually it's on the weekends, the girls are selling on the weekends, and it'll give you all the locations and times and where they're going to be, so that you guys can find your cookies and get connected with a troop to get them.
Great. So we're getting ready to celebrate Girl Scout Week, and today is actually World Thinking Day. I saw that. How interesting.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about what you do during Girl Scout Week and when it is.
So Thinking Day, which is today, is actually where Girl Scouts celebrate our global sisterhood, where girls like here in the United States and here in Joplin, actually this year they had a tea party where they learned about different countries and different Girl Scouts around the world, and they picked a country and they got to learn about that country and Girl Scouts in that area. And Girl Scout Week, they're celebrating not only our Girl Scout birthday, which is fun, but they're also celebrating their sisterhood of being Girl Scouts. So we try to have a big celebration during Girl Scout weeks. Obviously, it's connected with our cookie program because it's right in the middle of ours, but they do things like they might do a community service project during Girl Scout week to give back to their community. They might just have like a special, birthday party, and they'll make like a birthday cake, and do something cool like that, or just different ways to celebrate, during Girl Scout week for, the Girl Scout birthday. So it's kind of a celebration, but it's also, remembering, what Girl Scouts is about, and connecting it back to its roots.
Great. Is there anything in your specific area that you do as a tradition for Girl Scout Week, or does it change every year?
It kind of changes every year. Usually for our troops, we usually give them things that they can do each day. On Monday they can, they could do this, or give them ideas. Sometimes it might be, just like wear your uniform to school, Girl Scout pride, and they're already out in the community, wearing their uniform, selling their cookies, but like wear it to school and be able to wear your uniform with pride and show it to your friends, and or it might be something like, hey, have a celebration with your troop or something, just different ways to get connected, or ideas to connect globally. It might be like a pen pal project or something, and opportunities for them to get connected beyond their own city and their area.
Great. So what are the steps that you can take to becoming a Girl Scout? Is this just something you can sign up for? Do you have to be like really local with a scout or with a group?
Yeah, so Girl Scouts is traditionally, a lot of people think about Girl Scouts as having to be in a troop, but there are ways that you can participate in Girl Scouts without being in a troop, which is kind of less common knowledge, where they can still participate and earn badges and do our events and go to summer camp, and not have to have the commitment of being in a regular troop that might meet weekly or bi-weekly. But locally, normally we have volunteers who run our troops, which is fantastic. And you just give us a call or shoot us an email or connect with us. And if we have a troop in your area, we get you connected. And if we don't, we're trying to find volunteers to fill those spaces so that we can provide a troop in that area. So it's just kind of connecting to us and letting us help you guys, them get connected to sign up for Girl Scouts.
Okay, so you can just kind of go online or call or email?
Yeah, there's actually a way on our website where you can, it just says contact us, and you can fill out, my name is, and my daughter's in this grade, and this is where she goes to school, and we can take a look, and contact you back with what we have in that area.
Okay.
Occasionally we don't have a troop in the area, but usually we're recruiting for volunteers in that area to fill and find a troop to get that started. But usually if we know that there's an interest, we're already working on that too. So
great. So it sounds like it's pretty easy to kind of find a troop near you, essentially wherever you're at, nationally or globally.
Oh, definitely. It's just getting connected with us so we can help you guys get connected. And the easiest way is just if you want to go online and fill out that contact form, or we have an office here in Joplin. We have actually 5 service centers across the state of Missouri. If you find one close by, or you can stop in, see everything as well. So.
Great. And so something that I personally remember when I was in Girl Scouts was summer camp. And that was a huge thing that we did almost every year, I would say. And we had so much fun. And can you just tell us a little bit about summer camp now?
Summer camp is still so much fun. It's one of my favorite things every year. I look forward to having the girls just come in and even register. It's like, what camp are you going to? And they get super excited, or they tell their friends like, hey, I'm going to this camp or that camp, and they bring their friends along. It's awesome. And each camp is designed and has a theme. So again, a lot of the general public thinks, oh, Girl Scout camp, you have to be a Girl Scout to go to Girl Scout camp. That's not entirely true. Each one of them is a theme. So if you have a daughter who's interested in the theme, she can come. And we try to keep it as affordable as we can. But like this year, we have anything from a daisy camp that might be a one night, overnight, or just a day camp for kindergarten and first grade, all the way up to like a week of camp for the older girls. Themes from horseback, riding, and we have a new one. It's a cupcake wars and a DIY, do it yourself, learning how to make things, and they get to do projects. Last year, a really popular one for our older high school girls, 6th through 12th grade, was our Hunger Games one. They got to learn about archery, survival skills, learning how to, build fires from scratch, shelters, different things like that. And then our 4th and 5th graders love our zombie camp. Our zombie camp is super popular. It's called Zombie Survival. They learn survival skills in a zombie theme apocalypse, setting kind of, and they stay in our tree houses and at our camp, which is really cool. We also have another version of it, same concept, just without the zombie for girls that, don't like the zombie theme. We have Mysteries of the Night, which is not scary. Either are really scary, but the girls that are a little apprehensive. So we have something for really any age group from kindergarten through 12th grade, and pretty much any theme that you can think of.
So are all of these camps like local, or do a lot of these ones, are they like you kind of have to travel far depending on which one you would go to?
Yeah, it definitely depends on where you're located. We have one here in Joplin. It's about 15 minutes right from Joplin, and we have girls come from all over. And then we have one near Springfield, and then we have one in our central region and one on the east side. So it just kind of depends where you want to go and how far you want to drive. I think the farthest from Joplin would be a 4.5, 5 hour drive, which can be far, but it can be worth it. Our Cherokee Ridge property has horses on the property. So we have some pretty intense horseback riding there. And then our Latonka property, which is pretty popular as well, has our resident camp near Springfield. It's called Finbrook, and that one has our high ropes training. So it's a team building, it's a high ropes. We have a zip line, a rappelling tower, a climbing tower. So we call those things our high adventure. It's for our older girls, but they have that at that camp. And then Minahama, in my opinion, here in Joplin, we have a lake, which is kind of, our pride and joy. We can canoe on the lake and kayak and learn, different things on our lake, as well as do all the general camp things as well. So each one of the properties definitely has a different feel and a different theme, but all of them have different programs that you can pick from. So it just kind of depends on what the girl is interested in and how far you're willing to travel. But
Right.
definitely can go to any of them.
Yeah, and so is this just kind of limited? Like if you aren't really participating in Girl Scouts, are you still able to go, or is this just, inclusive with Girl Scouts?
It is not inclusive with Girl Scouts. We have some girls who are not involved in a troop that are still go to Girl Scout camp. So they've been had been a Girl Scout and kind of, decided, too busy of a schedule, but still come to Girl Scout camp. And then we have some other girls who just want to come to Girl Scout camp because they thought, it might be fun. So any girl, you have to be in kindergarten to be a Girl Scout, and it goes all the way through 12th grade, and we have summer camps for all that age group. So we call them pathways. There's a troop pathway, you can go to events, you can go to summer camp. There's different options, and you can pick one or you can pick them all. So girls can go to summer camp without actually being in a troop or being a Girl Scout today.
Awesome. So it looks like we can really expand that to everybody if you want to go,
Yep.
whether you want to be in a troop or not.
Yep.
So everybody can have fun. And so this year I also noticed that you have the National Girl Scout Convention.
Yes.
And that looks like a really big thing. It looks like it's only once every 3 years.
Yes, it is once every 3 years, and this year it's going to be the closest it's ever been. It's in Ohio, and every 3 years they pick another national location to hold that. So the convention will be in Ohio this year. It'll be big. We have a trip going from the Missouri Heartland Council, so we have a trip that will be going. And we're coordinating the bus and the transportation, everything to get there. And there's workshops, and you connect with other Girl Scouts from around the country. We even have some Girl Scouts come from out of the country,
Oh, wow.
to go to that event. And the older girls have some really cool leadership opportunities. They usually do a community service, opportunity. There's some business that happens as well, and the older girls also get leadership opportunity, to be able to see that side as well. So it's a very big mix, but it's also a big party. It's also a lot of fun.
Right. So how long does it typically take? Is it just like a week long, or is it just kind of like a overnight?
I think it's 4 days, where it's like a traditional weekend convention, 3 or 4 days, and like I said, there's different things happening each day and for different age groups. This year is the first year that they've actually opened it to some of the younger grades. Used to only have certain programs for certain ages. Now they're having a couple different options, which is actually really good for our younger girls to get that experience. So while the older girls might be doing this, the younger girls might be doing a lock-in or something, something different.
Right, so it's kind of fun for everybody.
Yeah, age appropriate, and as well as fun. So
awesome.
It'll be really cool.
And so it sounds like everything that you really do with Girl Scouts, it leads to opportunity. So kind of a lot of these little learning abilities are going to teach you something for when you're an adult. And is there anything with Girl Scouts as far as scholarship programs or awards that you're able to do?
So nationally, there are some, and we actually have higher awards in Girl Scouts that the girls can earn and work towards. They can start at a junior age level with the 4th and 5th grade as a bronze award, and then there's a silver and a gold award. And they're service projects, and they're different projects. They see a need in the community, they figure out how to meet that need and how to change, something or make something happen, and they work towards it, and they put a certain amount of hours towards those projects to be able to earn those higher awards. And there are some scholarships specifically for Girl Scouts from different organizations as well as nationally, specifically for if you were a Girl Scout, if you got the Gold Award, different things like that, as well as in my personal opinion, when you apply for any scholarship and they see on your resume that you got the Gold Award, because it is very prestigious. It's very hard, to obtain. It takes a lot of work. But when the girls are going for those higher awards, it's amazing. It definitely makes a huge impact. And the things that they're doing at this age I always say, a lot of people are like, oh, you're training the leaders of tomorrow. And I'm like, yeah, we are, but we're also making an impact today, and they're leaders today. And they're making, huge differences today at age 11, 12, 18, in their communities. So it's amazing.
And you mentioned that kindergarten was the youngest age, correct? And kind of go through and explain, I remember, I think you said daisies and brownies were kind of the youngest. Like, what are the different troop names and levels?
Yeah, so it can get a little bit confusing, but kindergarteners are the first age group that can go into Girl Scouts, and it's kindergarten and first grade are daisies, second and third are brownies, fourth and fifth are juniors, and then it's sixth, seventh, and eighth grade are cadets, and then we have ninth and 10th as seniors, and then 11th and 12th as ambassadors. And so there's a different curriculum set and different badges and different things that they can work towards and different awards that are curriculum based that they can do that are age appropriate, and they all build on each other. And as they get older, their leadership ability grows a little bit more, and there's more opportunity for that growth.
All right. So what are, as far as becoming like a troop leader, do you have to go through certain stages of Girl Scouts, or can you just kind of want to be a leader, like if you're a mom, or you just want to have that leadership ability? What are the steps that you have to take?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So anybody can be a Girl Scout volunteer. And we do an application process. You have to be above the age of 18. And depending on what your availability is and what you're kind of wanting to do, we kind of go from there. You don't have to have had a Girl Scout experience. We have trainings and different things to kind of get you ready and learning how to lead a troop and how to do well at teaching the girls and to be able to lead your troop and be successful. We have trainings, different things like that, and get you set up for success. So the only thing is that we do have an application. The biggest thing is I always say you can't do Girl Scouts wrong. Being a positive role model for the girls, being there to support the troop, and we can't do it without volunteers.
Right.
So just having that opportunity, to open that door so that more girls can join, and that we have volunteers to be able to have those troops be successful. And a lot of our parents most of our parents get involved, beyond that. We have some volunteers that are core leaders in the troop. Then a lot of the parents actually get involved as well, sharing their talents and being able to stand up and say, show their daughter in their troop, their special talents, and that everyone has, something that they can shine at. And I love being able to connect those little pieces, and being able to, put every adult in a place where they can show the girls where they can go and how they can grow and where their special talents can be used.
Great. So it looks like there's kind of a position for everybody, whether you want to be a leader or somebody in a troop or just a volunteer.
Yeah.
And what's the contact information we can do for just locally in the Joplin area, like website or phone?
Yeah, so if you go to www.girlscoutsmoheartland.org, that's our council website. I actually manage the Jasper County Girl Scouts, so you can contact me directly. You can email me, for here in Jasper County. I manage all of the troops and all the volunteers, and if you're interested in volunteering, I'd be the one that you talk to anyway. We have our shop and our offices are on 12th and Rangeline in Joplin, so you can stop by and just come and ask questions and see our store and see the different uniforms and like I said, ask questions and be able to, get connected that way as well. Just any way, whatever the best way is for you to contact us, and then we'll get you connected.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us today. We look forward to looking at all these new cookies. It looks like you have so many different ones right now. We'll see you guys soon. I hope you have a great year with Girl Scouts.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Community Spotlight. My name is Jillian Wirtz. We'll see you later.